Hello, GovCon winners. My name is Kizzy Parks, and this is the go-to place to learn how to find, bid, and win profitable government contracts. Yours truly has been awarded well over $50 million in government contracts. Today, I'm going to talk about how I was really able to leverage my first government contract, which was a subcontract, into variety of different contracts, which ultimately led to being awarded well over $50 million. So going back for a second, I was awarded a subcontract that was a little less than $100,000. I ended up being subcontracted under, at the end of the day, 4 different prime contractors with an Air Force agency. At that time, I provided research, data analysis, some things around training and development. Basically, I did anything and everything they asked me to do. I also had an unpaid intern at the time. And as time went on, I started to bring on more paid talent. But before, when I had that first subcontract, I kind of had a magical key because of the way in which I was situated and how I was presented. It put me in this unique position because that agency interacted with people from all of the different military services, including Coast Guard, as well as federal agencies. People would make this assumption, oh, Dr. Parks, she must be a government employee. They had no idea. And because I said yes to everything, literally, yes, you want to go to this conference? Yes. Do you want to go to this event? Yes. Do you want to go to this retirement? Yes. Because of that, people really started to take notice of me because much of what I focused on involved diversity and inclusion, and then a little bit of cross-cultural competence. So what ended up happening is I would present at an event kind of on behalf of that Air Force agency, and military members, federal agencies would come up to me and say, oh my gosh, that was really great. Maybe you can do that for us. You know, can you check with your boss? I would say, I don't have a boss. I'm a contractor. Oh, wow, you are. And it changed everything. One of my very first paid federal government speaking engagements was for the Army Reserve in New Orleans. They saw me present, and then they hired me to give this presentation at this really cool event. I got paid for it. I don't recall the exact dollar amount. It was probably a little less than $10,000. Then from there, I was introduced to a gentleman who was looking for a speaker for a Women's Observance Month. And I remember him saying, wow, your prices are so low, you're so cheap. And I thought, oh my God, what did I do? I had no idea. I priced just based on what I thought I was supposed to price. And I spoke at that event. These two were both simplified acquisitions. Then I met an amazing woman with the National Guard. I had presented to her and others from the Army National Guard. And at the end, she turned to me and said, Dr. Parks, you're going to be hearing from me. Sure enough, for many, many, many years, my firm provided services to them. And they actually provided one of the biggest contracts that I received up until the $4 million one. And that was just because they saw me, because of exposure. I didn't have to bid on any of these opportunities that I said thus far, but that did change. There was another opportunity in which a federal employee, she saw me speak and really loved this training that I provided and learned that I was a contractor. And she said, hey, I have this opportunity. I would like to subcontract you through a big company, but I'm going to need from you a proposal. And I know there's this assessment you use. Can you talk more about it? Because I love the fact that you include an assessment with your diversity and inclusion training, which I also learned from my first government contract was that the federal government, no different than any of us, they love new, they love out of the box thinking. They love when you combine things that don't always seem like they should go together. And so I provided that proposal and was awarded a subcontract of well over $100,000 to provide diversity and inclusion training to all new DoD supervisors. So it was lovely. The first contract led to several simplified acquisitions. It led to the subcontract providing the diversity training. Most importantly, it provided past performance. One of the prime contractors actually completed CPARs on my firm. So then that provided additional evidence of our performance. So I was able to use all of this past performance to apply for the 8A, as well as when I started to bid on different opportunities, because I had several years of past performance with this agency, and I was able to show all of that. I also had received a coin from this agency, which is a sign of excellence. So it was great because in many ways, it's like a job. They always say it's easier to get a job when you have a job. And the same holds true for federal government contracting. Once you get your foot in the door and you get your first contract, it's like a little snowball. And then it's a bigger snowball and a bigger one and a bigger. And then it's so huge and it would overtake Rick Ross's mansion. And that's what ended up happening. And it also positioned me to be able to compete for multi-million-dollar contracts, as well as still take on simplified acquisitions. So all my amazing GovCon winners, I know this was helpful. Please subscribe. Please hit that notification button. Please comment below. And don't forget, everything is possible.